It's going to automatically select a device. I don't know what it's talking about. Let me get some more light on here. Okay, so we're multiplying every term by the LCD. So that means we're going to take my LCD and we're going to times it by numerators only. So 4x times this by 4x and times this one by 4x. So maybe we'll add to that numerator only. So I think one of the things that students struggle with is that in 6.3 we multiply by what's missing, both top and bottom, but in 6.4 we multiply just the numerators. So I don't know if you want to highlight that, star that, do something in your notes so that you know that when we're dealing with equations, although it's similar to 6.3, we do something very, very different. Okay, so let's do some math here. All right, so we get to cancel out some stuff, which is exciting. So we're going to cancel out the 4's here because our whole goal is to eliminate the denominator. We're going to cancel out the x's here. And because this has a denominator of 1, there's nothing I'm going to cancel out here because I'm not going to use that denominator. I'm going to go ahead and multiply this. So x times x gives me x squared. I have minus 7 times 4, which is 28. Equals 3 times 4x is 12x. Okay, so when I look at that, as soon as I see the x squared, I know that I'm going to have to either factor it or use my quadratic formula to solve. So I have to set it equal to 0. So I'm going to have x squared minus 12x minus 28 equals 0. Has to be equal to 0 before I do any factoring or use my quadratic formula. Okay, so what are the factors of 28 that add up to negative 12?
14. Negative 12 and 14. Or negative, my bad.
Yeah, both of you got it. So we got negative 14 and we have a positive 2. So my values are going to be x equals 14 and x equals negative 2. Now the only place you have to check these, the only thing you have to check them against is your NPVs. So this is a 14, this is a negative 2. We said our NPVs can't be 0, so both of these are good answers. If one of my answers was a 0, we would reject it based on the NPV.
Wait. So x equals 14 and x equals negative 2 does not mean a new NPV?
No, because we didn't flip anything. We didn't change it. Like, we only do the new NPVs when we do division, when we're flipping it. These are just my answers, and I'm just checking them to see that they don't match my NPVs. So for the first time, your NPVs can actually make you reject an answer. We never had that before because we didn't solve before. Now we're solving. Okay, everybody good with that? I can flip the page.
That's the answer?
That's the answer. You're done.
Okay.
Solving is way easier than adding or subtracting. That's it. We're done. See, and I left you all that room. Okay. All right. So example number 2 says that we're going to know. Good. Thanks, Sander. So step 1 says we factor everything. So this one is already factored. This one is already factored, but this denominator isn't. So we're going to go ahead and factor that because that's step 1. Always factor everything. 18 can't be factored, but my denominator factors of 18 that add up to negative 9.
6 and 3.
6 and 3, yes. So y minus 6, y minus 3, because they both have to be negative to get us to the negative 9, but multiplied give us a positive 18. Okay, So NPVs, non-permissible values. Y cannot equal, what's this one?
Three.
3. See, unfortunately, the poor people at home are carrying the class because the class is on mute, so they could all be yelling 3 and I can't hear them. Then for this one,
6.
Positive 6.
positive 6. And then they get repeated here and here. So I don't have to write them again. I'm just gonna leave it like that. Okay, so now for our LCD. And I always take the time to write down my LCD. Even though I know what it is in my head, I'm going to take the time to write it down. So what's my LCD?
1 minus 6, 1 minus 3.
Yep, y minus 6, y minus 3. So what we're going to do with our LCD again is we're going to take this and we're going to multiply it by the tops only. Because our goal is to get rid of the denominator. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and cancel stuff out in each term. So y minus 3 and y minus 3 are gone. Y minus 6 and y minus 6 are gone. And these are both gone. All right, so I'm left with, I'm going to write this step. You guys don't have to. I'm just writing it out so that everybody can see clearly what it is that's left over. So that's all that's left over. So our whole goal is to get rid of denominators. If your LCD has not eliminated the entire denominators, then you've done something incorrect or your LCD isn't full. So make sure that you are, like when you're done, you should have no denominators. Because nobody wants to deal with fractions when they're trying to solve. Okay, so I have 9y minus 54. Now we can do one of two things. You can multiply a positive 4 in and then multiply the negative 1. I'm going to treat it like it's a negative 4 as I multiply it in. So that's going to be negative 4y plus 12 equals 18. So everybody okay that I did that in one step? The negative 4 in. It doesn't make it a multiply question. It's just now I'm subtracting 4y. Now I'm adding 12. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and combine like terms. So I'm going to combine this one and this one. So that's going to give me 5y. And now I've got to combine this one and this one. So that's going to give me a negative 42. All right, so this is two-step algebra from grade 9. So it doesn't have a squared on it, so I know I don't need to factor or use the quadratic formula. So I'm going to isolate the variable by adding 42 to both sides. So I have 5y equals 50. I want y by itself, so I'm going to divide out that 5, divide out that 5. Y equals 10. Now, is that 10 a good answer?
It's 60, Miss Karen.
Oh, is thanks.
It's 12.
Okay, I thought I just failed at adding. Thank God.
Obviously, I failed at adding today. This is what happens. I'm just all, hanging out in my living room, not adding, just being bad at this. Is 12 a good answer?
Yeah.
Yes. And the only place I have to check it against is my NPVs. My NPVs are 3 and 6, so 12 is good. We're done. Isn't this one so much better than 6.3?
Yes.
Yes.
I would say yes, but I feel like you're about to break our dreams.
No, I'll do that tomorrow. Today's golden. Today you're good. Tomorrow I'll break your hearts. Tomorrow's word problems.
Are they hard? Is that why you're saying that?
Yeah,
Oh, the usual.
the usual. But that's okay. You guys are smart. And you guys can add better than I can, so we're golden.
Yeah, I'm so smart. You're right.
Okay, so looking at this, step 1 is factor everything. This one's factored, this one's factored, this one is not. So 3x over x plus 2 minus 5 over x minus 3 equals negative 25 over x minus 3, x plus 2. I will tell you that usually in this chapter, there will be a common factor, something along the bottom. Very rarely do I give them to you that they're all different. It has happened once or twice, but it's not super common. Okay, NPVs. Oh, I just switched colors. Picked up a different pen. So x cannot equal.
Negative 2 and 3.
Yep, negative 2 and positive 3. And then my LCD. It's really similar to the last one.
30x plus.
Brilliant. X minus 3, x plus 2. So once I have that, that's going to be multiplied by tops only. And I write this out every time. Some people are visual people and they can do this all in their head. But I think as we're learning, I think showing this step is really important, because then it's easier when you go to cancel stuff out to actually see what it is you're canceling out. And so again, I'm going to write what's left over just so we see what's obvious. All right, so nice and easy. So this is going to be 3x squared minus 9x. And again, I'm going to use this as a negative 5 to leapfrog it in. So negative 5x minus 10 equals a negative 25. Okay, so this one's going to be a little bit different because as soon as I see that x squared, I know I'm going to have to factor, and I'm going to have to put it in general form so that it's equal to 0. So I'm going to have 3x squared minus 14x minus 10 equals negative 25. So I'm going to have 3x squared minus 14x plus 15 equals 0.
Why is it plus 15?
Because I'm adding 25 to both sides.
But, oh, it's negative 10. Okay.
I could have screwed up the adding again. It's good that you get me to check. So I got excited because this was a 15 and this was a 3, and I thought I could common factor, but the 14 doesn't let me take out a 3. So I'm going to hop to a scrap piece of paper here.
Do we
Is it quadratic formula?
Can we not factor it?
Well,
I don't know. It doesn't look like it.
I think we can.
why?
I think we can, you crazy kids.
Oh, what?
Okay, so we're going to take the 3 times the 15. So that's going to give us 45.
Never mind.
I was wondering why you guys wanted to go to the quadratic formula.
There was 2 negatives like adding up. It was confusing.
See, you know what? I can't add, but I can multiply. So we're going to have, for the rest of you who are not with us, negative 45 is going to, negative 9, negative 5. So 3x squared minus 9x minus 5x plus 15 equals 0. You guys. And the quadratic formula would have got you there, but it would have got you as answers, and you would have had to work backwards to the factors. Not the end of the world. Looking at this one, I'm going to common factor out of 3x. So I'm going to be left with x minus 3. I'm going to look at those two, and I'm going to take out a negative 5. I'm going to be left with x minus 3. And I know I've done it right if this one and this one are the same. I know I'm like a broken record with that, but I think if we know what are the things that help
I
us...
did it.
Uh-huh.
I I did it, but I got one of the answers as an MPV.
Oh, see, this is what we wanted to happen.
Why?
Well, because I want to show you that it's okay to have that. Bruh. You'll be okay. But that's the exciting part. So I get an answer. I'm just going to move this up here. X equals 3 and x equals 5 over 3. So those are my two answers. And the only thing I have to do is check them against my MPVs. And as Danica said, one of them gets rejected. So we have to indicate that this is rejected. So you need to cross it out, you need to write reject, you need to make it obvious that this answer is not good.
Can you move the screen over a bit, please?
Sure. I love that you guys just take pictures of it.
I'm writing my notes.
Do you guys actually look at those pictures later?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay. All right. Okay, so that's this lesson. We have about a half an hour left. Weird that we get a lot accomplished when I'm not there. I don't know what that says about me. You guys isn't problem set 3 due today?
Yeah, what time does it do?
3:30.
Like, when do you have to submit?
3:30?
3:30.
Wait, so is it for us too? Like, do we hand it in online?
Yeah, I want everybody to hand it in online.
Okay.
Because they're due on the days that you're not here. And if my A to K people are sitting in class looking at each other going, I just handed it into the inbox, I will forgive you. I will forgive you. Okay, so tomorrow we're doing word problems. Today, we've done that. What else do we have to do? We got our test scheduled for next week.
Next week?
Friday for you guys, which is this week,
Oh,
and next week for the people at home.
that's so not fair. I get like an extra 4 days of study.
They get an extra 2 days.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and early Monday.
4 days, yes, Sander, 4 days.
After redos are due next week, right? Otherwise,
You probably didn't hear that?
No, didn't hear that.
They're asking if redos are due next week.
We said that redos were going to be due, we were going to do them the first week of November. So that's next week. So I need your questions to me this week. Tripat already sent me his questions for chapter 4 redo, and we're going to do them the first week of November. So that is November. I'm looking at a calendar right now, or I'm trying to get my calendar to open. I'm going to just look on my phone because that's faster. My computer's just saying no. So that means that we're going to do our redos for chapter 4 sometime between November 2nd and November 6th. Right? That's good for everybody. So this week you have to get me your questions in. So send those via email. Like chapter 4 redo questions, I want to do number 2, 5, and 10. That's all I need. I just need an email with that. Any other questions?
Miss Scallion,
Yes, Kira?
on the 6.3 assignment,
Yep.
can you go over how to do 3B?
If you can tell me what 3B is, I'd be more than happy to go over it with you.
It's a fraction, so the top half
Okay.
over 2,
Sorry, say again.
3 over 2,
Okay.
plus 3 over t,
Okay.
divided by
Yep.
t divided by t plus 6
Okay.
minus 1 over t.
Okay, I can do this. I can do this. Thank you. This is what happens. You know what I forgot? I brought my document camera home. I forgot all the note package. So I was frantically trying to figure this out. It says I should be presenting soon. All right, so there's the question. I'm just going to darken that up a little. Okay, so I'll use a different color here. So again, what I like to do with this is I like to treat it as two different things. So I do my numerator. So that's my numerator. Divide it by my denominator. And I got that right, Kira. You're looking at it now. I copied down everything you said correctly.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to look at these first. I'm going to treat this like it's its own question. So my NPV for this side is t cannot equal 0 because there's just a single t there. And then my LCD for this side is going to be 2t. So if I look at my first equation, if my denominator is 2t, I'm missing t out of this one, so I got to times this by t over t. And in this one, I'm missing the 2, so it's 2 over 2. And again, this has a value of 1, this has a value of 1. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply. So I'm going to have 3t over 2t plus 6 over 2t. And again, I'll remind you, don't cancel anything out here because that's going to put you right back to here. We need that common denominator. So I'm going to have 3t plus 6 over 2t. Okay, so I can go one more step with this because I'm looking at that top, and I can go 3 bracket t plus 2 over 2t. I think that's going to help me a little bit later. So for my denominator, let's do my NPVs on this one. Sorry, they're kind of... So t cannot equal 0 because of that one, and t cannot equal -6 because of this one. So my LCD for this side is going to be t times t plus 6. So a lot of people think that the answer is just going to be t plus 6 because they both have t's in them, but that's not correct because this is a set and that's a very different denominator than that one.
Can you move this screen up like the littlest bit?
Like that?
Thank you.
Okay. So this means this one's missing the t, so it's going to be t over t, and this one's missing the t plus 6 over t plus 6. So on top, I'm going to have t squared over t times t plus 6 minus t plus 6 over t times t plus 6. That's a 1, so I didn't show my multiplying through. It's just multiplying by 1. So if I go ahead and simplify that, I'm going to have t squared minus t minus 6, because that negative gets distributed through the whole set. So it's going to be a minus 6 on top, and that's going to be all over t times t plus 6. So again, I'm looking at this and I'm going to go, okay, I got to factor that. So that's going to be t minus 3, t plus 2 over t times t plus 6. All right, so we already have our denominators taken care of. We've got the 0, we've got the -6, all that was taken care of up there. So we don't divide fractions, we multiply. So multiply by t times, so we're flipping the second one because that's what reciprocal means. Okay, we have a new denominator now, so we're going to do more MPVs. So my t could not equal 0 or -6 before, and now I have new denominators of +3, and this one's, I missed something. This is +2, sorry. So this one is a +3, and that one's going to be a -2. So new denominator, new MPVs. All right, so everything's multiplied, so we can go ahead and start canceling stuff out. So this will cancel it with that, and this t will cancel it with that t. All right, there's not too much else I can cancel out, so I'm going to have 3 times t plus 6 over 2 times t minus 3, where t cannot equal 0, -6, 3, and -2. I think the big mistake with this one is that, I'm going to just scooch this back to the top, is that people think the common denominator here is just the t plus 6. But there's nothing I can multiply t by to get it to add 6 in, so we have to treat those as two different sets. That's as good as I can get to get it all on the screen.
I have the problem set done, and I'm trying to email it to you, but 2 different emails are popping up for you.
Okay, you can send it to either.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm either kscallion@mymlake.ca or kscallion@mysterynet.mb.ca. I have 2, so